everyone. My name is Rich Chester, and I'm the Director of Business Intelligence at LPA Software Solutions. It's my pleasure to welcome you to our webinar today entitled How to Go from Desktop Analytics to Business Intelligence, or Better Decision Making using IBM Cognos Analytics. In addition to myself today, I'm joined by Tafiq Habibi, who is a Senior Analytics Consultant here at LPA, Mohammed Yahaya, who is a Principal Consultant here, and Chris Keaton, who is also a Principal Analytics Consultant here at LPA. Together, we're going to cover the following agenda. I'll start out by giving you a very brief introduction to who is LPA. After that, Tafiq will present why you need an analytics platform as opposed to simply using something like Excel or Access in Excel. He'll also give a very brief overview of the Cognos Analytics software solution from IBM. After that, Chris Keaton will present spreadsheets to insights in under 5 minutes, a demonstration starting with a spreadsheet of data and ending with that data visualized in Cognos Analytics. Mohammed will then follow that topic up with a brief demonstration of reporting using Cognos Analytics. He'll demonstrate both a list report and a crosstab report. Chris Keaton will then come back and talk to you about the automated distribution options that come with a platform like IBM Cognos Analytics, and we'll talk you through the value of being able to schedule and distribute reports in an automated fashion. And then finally, at the end, I'll come back and give you an idea of what LPA Software Solutions could do for you as you begin your analytics journey with the selection of an analytics platform. Because I think many of the folks who are on this webinar are new to LPA, I thought I would take just a moment here to introduce you to LPA. We were founded in 2001. Our headquarters is in Rochester, New York, although our consultants are based all over the United States. We have well over 250 clients. These range in size from very small to what you might consider mid-market, to worldwide enterprises with many different branches and thousands of employees. We also have specialty practices that help embed Cognos into other companies' software solutions. We have just over 50 employees and we're growing. We are IBM Platinum Business Partners. That is the highest accreditation you can achieve as an IBM business partner, which means we are expert in many of the IBM solutions. Now, LPA has chosen to focus specifically on the analytics and data warehousing solution set from IBM. So that means that we cover the waterfront from strategy and building an analytics roadmap to implementing analytics solutions and data warehouses with the IBM software solutions, and ultimately helping you roll out and train on these solutions so that you can get the value of implementing platforms such as these throughout every aspect and every organization in your business. We are an award-winning organization, including an IBM Beacon Award finalist. We are partners with IBM in multiple ways, in addition to our ability to sell their software and implement their software. We are also able to subcontract for IBM when they need the ability to deliver their solutions and they don't have sufficient consultants available. They'll call on LPA so that our consultants will augment the IBM professional services organizations. And we are committed to your success and, more importantly, to your self-sufficiency. We want to introduce you to the analytics platforms, train you so that you can use them, and enable you to continue to use and grow them without necessarily having to call on LPA for every aspect of that growth. We're also a partner with an organization called Pitney Bowes, specifically around their location intelligence solutions. They have a solution that integrates into Cognos Analytics, plus several standalone solutions that are all about spatial and location analytics that complement the solutions that come from IBM. So from the waterfront, from the gamut of things that LPA does, strategy and roadmap to help you build a business case for beginning and executing on an analytics journey. Working on the data side with data warehousing, whether that's structured data or big data, using the IBM Big Insights, their pure data, Netezza, cloud-based solutions as well as on-premise solutions for data. Move into the business intelligence space, which is where we'll focus mostly today in terms of our talk track and demonstration. That can be implementation support, that can be training of your organization or both. Performance management with IBM's Planning Analytics or TM1 solutions to help you with the planning, budgeting, and forecasting components of your business. And then finally, advanced analytics and cognitive analytics. These are analytics that understand natural language, that help you work with predictions and confidences in those predictions for root cause analysis relative to why type questions. Why did this happen? Examine my data, tell me why this outcome took place. Those sorts of advanced analytics and optimization in there, sort of answering the full gamut of questions from BI up to advanced of what happened, why did it happen, what will happen, and what should happen. That's the analytics journey that most organizations take, and LPA can be your partner every step of the way. So with that as your brief introduction to the analytics offerings, I'd like to turn it over to Tawfiq Habibi, who will chat with you about the specific need. Why do you need to consider an analytics platform? Tawfiq?
Hello, my name is Tawfiq Habibi, and I'm a Senior Analytics Consultant with LPA Software Solutions. And today I'd like to talk about analytics platforms and why they might be beneficial to your organization. For our agenda today, we're going to briefly discuss some of the drawbacks of using Excel for analytics. We'll talk about some of the advantages of implementing an analytics platform. And finally, I'm going to show you a quick overview of IBM's Cognos Analytics offering. So let's get started by talking about Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is a ubiquitous tool that can be found in use in every organization, and it is relied on heavily to manage all aspects of a business. It's even a more significant tool for smaller companies. With that being said, there are some drawbacks to using Excel instead of an analytics platform. So let's talk about some of those drawbacks. As you might already know, spreadsheets tend to be static in nature, and one tends to lose the benefit of real-time information retrieval. Also, data refresh is usually a manual process. And of course, you can use macros to a certain degree for some level of automation, but if you also consider the need for consolidating information from multiple sources, you can imagine the added overhead. And as that number of sources increases, so does the complexity of updating the data and bringing it all together under one umbrella. Another drawback is that Excel and spreadsheets are standalone tools in the form of a desktop application, and it is much more difficult to share the information stored within them. Collaboration and data sharing becomes a challenge, especially within larger groups of users. And of course, the data tends to be siloed with limited visibility, which in turn limits the insights that people can derive and could benefit from when they access that information. Another drawback is the fact that although you can protect the data within a worksheet or even secure the files on a network shared drive, it is much more difficult to secure the data at a more granular level, say for a particular user or department or a set of particular accounts. You would probably have to create multiple files or worksheets, one specific for each use case. And of course, as you might imagine, this can become quite a cumbersome task. And finally, robust, complex, visually rich, and shareable reports are difficult to produce in Excel. And if you have several users that are creating the content, it might be a challenge to have that standard look and feel for those reports. So now that we've talked about some of the challenges that come with using Excel as an analytics tool, let's talk about how a BI platform can have advantages. First, we'll start off with the fact that modern analytics platforms can let you connect to any data, from spreadsheets to databases and everything in between. You can explore any data with the flexibility of data sources that support the systems that you might already have in place. For example, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle databases, even open source databases, text files, and also the existing spreadsheets that you might already have in your organization. Those too can also be used as data sources. You can automate inputs within the platform, so data can be automatically updated on a schedule, or you can create a live connection for the most recent data so you have access to real-time information. The analytics platform will also allow you to quickly connect to and visualize data. You have access to sophisticated authoring tools that make it easy to create as well as consume content. And that content can be easily and automatically published and shared, and it can be consumed on any system within your organization, and that includes mobile devices. A variety of authoring tools allow you and your users to gain insights with drag and drop simplicity. In addition to report authoring tools, versatile dashboards offer sophisticated visualizations for even greater and deeper analysis. Support for drill down and roll up capabilities allows you to focus on the details within your data or look at broader perspectives for the bigger picture. And finally, you can secure data at multiple levels with a high degree of granularity. Security can be implemented at any level within the platform, including folders, reports, columns, and even individual data items. With all that being said, let's take a look at what Cognos Analytics can offer us as a platform.
Thank you, Tafik. While Tafik gets logged into Cognos Analytics for his next demonstration, I'd like to take a moment to just characterize the benefits of the IBM Cognos Analytics platform into 3 different categories. And those categories are to prepare your data, to explore your data, and to share your data. Let's first take a quick look at preparing your data. So data preparation means giving access to the data that is both custodial data. This would be your corporate data managed probably centrally by an IT organization, as well as data that resides only on your desktop or data that you have derived from external data sources, which typically will manifest in spreadsheets, but leveraging those spreadsheets as part of your data assets along with your corporate data, along with natural language to help you find the data you need quickly, and modeling that allows you to describe relationships between all your data sources, between tables in your data warehouse and that uploaded spreadsheet you just uploaded, that sort of thing. That's all data preparation capabilities that are part of the Cognos Analytics platform. Of course, once you have your data prepared, you want to explore your data, to search for various insights. And there are multiple ways to explore your data in the Cognos Analytics platform. Certainly visual exploration, charts, graphs, trend charts, pie charts, sort of the common charts that you would immediately think of, bar charts, of course, but also more esoteric charts, word clouds, hurricane charts, Pareto charts, all in a unified environment that is smart, where the system can specify or the system can suggest, based on the data you select, the chart you should be using to best express that type of data. And it can't just be graphical displays such as bar charts, line charts, and so on, but also spatial charts, maps, that allow you to express your data in a spatial layout, even if the spatial layout you need is not necessarily post office based. In other words, you can define your own custom regions on which to plot your data on a map in Cognos Analytics. So that's the notion of exploring. And then once you've got an exploration that uncovers insights that you'd like to share, you would like through this same interface, through Cognos Analytics, whether it's implemented in the cloud or implemented on-premise, the ability to distribute to the right people at the right time these different analyses, distribute it to their desktops, to their laptops, to their mobile devices, all through one platform. And you want to be able to automate that through the use of scheduling and report bursting. Or you might even want to combine a bunch of charts that produce a collection of insights into a narrative, a story, if you will, with voiceovers and interactive elements where you would actually present this story, this narrative supported by the visualizations that back up the assertions you're making in your narrative using a single platform. So prepare, explore, and share. And we'll focus on aspects of each of these in our demonstrations during the rest of the time we spend together. But first, Tafik is going to spend just a quick moment to show you the Cognos Analytics interface and a couple of functions before we deep dive into some of these different categories. So back to Tafik.
So I've logged into Cognos Analytics and I'm looking at the welcome portal. And now I'm going to take advantage of the search capability offered by Cognos Analytics to find a report that might be of interest to me related to sales managers. So I'm going to enter sales managers in the search box and press enter. And Cognos will retrieve the content it finds associated with sales managers. The first report in the list appears to be of interest, so I'm going to go ahead and click on it to run the report. And the report renders with the data populated. This is a visually rich report, a lot of visualizations, but you also, as a consumer, are able to interact with it in a variety of ways through these on-demand toolbars that can pop up once you click on a column of interest. In this example, I clicked on the order column and I wanted to change the sort order to ascending. And the order quantity is sorted in ascending order. By the same token, we can also interact with dashboards the same way we do with reports. So here is the financial dashboard. And this information here is being shown as budget versus actual by product and by product group. And as you can see, the dashboard renders, again, with a lot of visualizations, and they are all interactive together. They can all talk to communicate to each of these widgets individually. So for example, I can click on household here and interact and update all of the visualizations so that the numbers shown reflect the product group household. Clicking on small items will refresh all of those visualizations relatively quickly and highlight the appropriate values. So again, gives you insight into the data that you have.
Thank you, Tafik. I know that was a very brief introduction to the IBM Cognos Analytics portal and platform. These next demonstrations by Chris Keaton and Mohammed Yahya will be more of an end-to-end demonstration of some capabilities, and you'll have a chance to see a bit more of the platform as they do their demos. I want to draw your attention back to the list of capabilities in the Cognos Analytics platform, which, by the way, I did not share earlier, but this is an entirely web-based tool, so there'll be no software installed in any of your users' PCs when you leverage Cognos Analytics. In terms of preparing, exploring, and sharing, our next demonstration is going to focus on a couple of the aspects of prepare and explore. Specifically, what Chris is going to demonstrate is the ability to use the Cognos Analytics dashboard tool with an uploaded file, as well as the natural language capability within that tool to find some corporate data that would go along with his uploaded data from the point of view of his dashboard. And ultimately, we'll also demonstrate how to map some data, so build a spatial analysis as part of that dashboard. Chris has entitled this section of the demonstration, Spreadsheet to Insight in 5 minutes. So take it away, Chris.
Hello, my name is Chris Keaton. I'm a principal consultant with the analytics team here at LPA. Today, I'm going to take you from spreadsheet to insight in under 5 minutes. The main idea here is about all those spreadsheets that are locked on file servers, locked in my PC, data that I know is essential to my organization, but just hasn't been shared with everybody else. This shadow data needs to be illuminated, and Cognos Analytics is the tool to do it. Let's jump over and see just how easy it is to integrate spreadsheet data into my BI environment. I can go ahead and drag and drop this right into the browser, or I can click Browse to go to the location where my spreadsheet is, choose it, say Open, and Cognos analyzes that file. I can turn on or off fields if I wish. I also want to validate that it adequately tagged the measures. In this case, room and hotel is an integer, and that is a measure that I want to use. If I scroll over, things look good. Open date, however, doesn't seem to be an aggregate, so I'm going to turn that off. Saying OK brings me right back to my main screen, and this file has been uploaded. You can see it's a tile on the main screen. If I wish to work with it, I simply click on the tile, and I begin the process of creating a dashboard that I can share with anyone in my organization. My choice between single page, tabbed, or infographic. I'm going to choose tabbed. That gives me room to expand in the future if I want to. And I'm going to choose a specific template to give me some help with the drag and drop. I'm going to choose a 2x2 template. Saying OK brings me into the environment where I can see my competition file has loaded. The use case we're using today is, imagine I work for a small hotel chain and I've been given a file on some competitive properties. Maybe we're looking to expand, to add a few hotels to our portfolio. So I'm going to go ahead and take this spreadsheet and make it a little more presentable so that I can make decisions on it with only a few minutes worth of work. The first way we're going to add items to the dashboard page is a simple drag and drop. If I take the property name and drop it onto the page, I'll see a list of those properties from the spreadsheet. To turn that into a handy visualization, all I need to do is drop a measure right on top of that. And you can see it draws a nice column chart for me. I can expand that and take a look at the entire x-axis. And you'll go ahead and see, right off the bat, I can see visually which my larger properties are. Insight that might have been a little more difficult going row by row in a spreadsheet trying to look for the bigger number and compare it to all its peers. I'm going to go a step further though because I want to know where these guys are located. The second way I can add to the page is by dragging over an item from the toolbox. In this case, I'm going to take a map item, drop it here in my bottom left square, and up will pop the ability to draw this map. This is a great data source because it actually has latitude and longitude in it. So I can take those and drop them in their relative locations, longitude and latitude, and a map will begin to draw. Now I just need to choose how I want to shade or size the bubble. I'm going to take rooms and hotel, say make your size of the bubble based on that. And just for a little color, let's also make the color based on the number of rooms in each place. And you can see I've already got a map that's telling me a little bit about where these properties are. These are very powerful maps. You can zoom in and out. If I'm interested in looking at a particular location, see where it is, I can zoom in and eventually I can get to not only street level data, but structure level data showing me the buildings nearby. These are very powerful maps, and you can get to them with doing just what we've done so far. There's no smoke and mirrors, no behind the scenes work required. The third and possibly most exciting way to add something to the page is to query it. Let's do essentially a search engine. We'll say, how about you show me rooms in the hotel by its segment. Okay, clicking search. Cognos goes out, looks at my data source and says, here's a column chart that shows you exactly what you asked for, the number of rooms in hotel based on the segment. I see my upscale segment is leading. I'm going to add that to the page by clicking Use. Once that element's on the page, I can go ahead and click over here to give myself a little more space. In fact, I can even make it larger by going into full screen mode. And I can see the beauty of my dashboard in its entirety, taking up as much resolution as I'll give it. It's as simple as that. A quick drag and drop, a few elements on the page, and now I can not only see where physically these guys are, I can see by segment, I can see by name, by number of rooms. A lot of insight gained in under 5 minutes with Cognos Analytics.
Thank you for that, Chris. So Chris has demonstrated one of the several different tools in Cognos Analytics for visualizing data, specifically the dashboard tool. Our next presenter, Mohammed Yahya, is going to be presenting the reporting tool. Now, the difference between the two isn't that they can visualize the data differently, in that there's a lot of crossover between them in both tools. For example, I can express data as a map. I can express data in a chart format. I can express data in a tabular format. However, dashboards are intended to be an interactive live environment, a live view of your data. Whereas reports, not only could they be a live view of your data, but they can also be scheduled and automatically distributed in various formats, including Excel, PDF, and CSV. So a new array of functionality available to you using reporting. Mohammed calls this demonstration Reporting and Analysis Simplified. So take it away, Mohammed.
My name is Mohammed Yahya. I am a Principal Business Analytics Consultant with LPA Software Solutions. Today, I'll show you how you can use Cognos Analytics to get to your data and see meaningful insights in a very easy and effective way. So let's get started by looking at some of the reporting and analysis capabilities of Cognos. The first step in any analysis is for you to tell Cognos from where your data is coming from. In Cognos, one of the ways you can do that is using data modules. For now, just consider data modules as simple pointer or connection to your data source. So let's assume that today we are doing some analysis on our hospitality data. So all you have to do is point to that data module, right click and say create report. Cognos will give you templates to choose from. Simply press OK. And this is the reporting interface for Cognos. Notice that I can see columns available to me from my selected data sources. I have my monthly summarized data available as well as nightly detailed data. In the center of the screen, I have this plus icon which lets me select what type of analysis I need to do. For now, I'll select list and press OK. I can select any columns I'm looking for to do my analysis. So for example, let's say I'm looking for hotel, year, month, comp occupancy, and my hotel occupancy. Let's drag and drop these columns and see what data we get. If I would like to filter my data for 2018 only, it's very simple. All I have to do is select the column and select the value for 2018 and simply select filter and say include 2018 only. If I would like to group my data based on my hotels, all I have to do is select my column for hotel name and click on group and ungroup, and now Cognos shows me a nicely formatted report with both hotels and year and month and comp occupancy. Let's assume that I would like to format my occupancy for my hotel and both comp as percentages. All I have to do is select these columns and Cognos will give me options based on my selections. One of the option is define data format. I can select data format, select percentage and press OK. And now the data is nicely shown as a percentage form for my report. So let's assume that you need to display percent difference between your comp occupancy and your hotel occupancy. All you have to do is select both columns and Cognos gives you option to select few basic options, right? One of which is percent difference. Simply select percent difference and it shows you what's the difference between your occupancy versus your comp occupancy, that you were 7% under, for February you were 18% under, and things like that. So this is my list analysis. Let's take a look at crosstab and see what options are available in crosstab. So we'll select cross tab from here, press OK. And this time let's analyze nightly data. So the first thing I'll do in my nightly data is I'll add year and month in rows, property name in columns, and number of nights as part of my measure. I can further get details on these things by adding more columns. So for example, if I would like to break this down by room type, I can simply add room type. If I would like to say what type of rates we are offering to our customers, I can simply add rate type and see what rates, what rate type we have for the rooms we have booked. So if I would like to see the totals, it's as simple as simply selecting a column, adding total. Same thing applies to rows as well, that I can simply add total for each and every level to see what is happening in my organization. In few clicks, I'm able to see what's total for my April, what is the total for 2018, how many rooms are booked for corporate rate, how many double rooms are booked, how many king rooms are booked, and I can say that for 2018 April corporate rate, I have in total 191 rooms booked altogether for this month. So you see how easy it is to get to your information once you have data available, or once you're using some industry standard enterprise ready BI solution. One thing I would like to point out is that you would be able to use these features not only with simple analysis, but you can save these reports and use them again and again and again for years and years to come. You can also connect these reports with your dashboard. So for example, if you have a high level dashboard, let's say you have created some dashboards using summary data and you would like to click and get details out of it, you would be able to link these reports from your dashboard and view data based on your drill throughs or whatever connection you have defined.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Our last demonstration today is going to focus a bit on scheduling, bursting, distributing reports to your users in an automated fashion. Chris Keaton is going to take us through a demonstration of just a few of the automated features for sharing your data in Cognos Analytics. Chris calls this your data when and where you want it. So back to Chris.
Hey there, Chris Keaton again. Now I'd like to talk to you a little bit about report distribution options within Cognos Analytics. This is all about getting data in the hands of people when they need it and where they need it. One of the biggest concerns with SpreadMart data, spreadsheets, access databases, etc., is that in order to get that data into people's hands, you often need to give them access to the source file. This can lead to all kinds of concerns, including potentially corrupting the data, as well as simply user frustration if the file happens to be locked or in the process of updates when they try to view it. So how do I get around that? With a business intelligence solution such as IBM Cognos Analytics, users can schedule reports to be sent to them in the background when and where they want to receive it. The idea here allows me to create a schedule, let's say 8 o'clock in the morning every Friday. I want that report delivered regardless of where I am. I could be in the office enjoying my third cup of coffee, or on a beach in the Bahamas enjoying my third margarita. Either way, that report's going to come to my inbox at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's the beauty of scheduling. I can include saved prompts. I can include numerous schedules or numerous delivery options, including multiple formats, multiple recipients, email, text, and the like. Completely customizable delivery. What about another use case? What if I have a department budget report, for instance, and I only want the heads of each department to see their specific data? Do I need 20 or 30 different spreadsheet tabs in order to make sure that finance only sees finance data and HR only sees HR data? Absolutely not. With Cognos Analytics, I can burst that report and send it to the people that need it, just the relevant topic for their subject area. This is called bursting. It's a relatively easy setup. All I need is a cross-reference table between the item that's going to create the page break and an email address or directory entry for who I want to send it to. In this case, instead of maintaining numerous objects, I only have to maintain that single report. And when it runs, the individuals will get only their data. It's pretty exciting stuff. What about sending reports out to a file system? I have the ability to burst reports or simply schedule them out to a file share for the purposes of either archiving, or maybe I want to integrate the system with a document management system that requires PDFs to be sent to a share. That is also entirely possible within Cognos Analytics. For the moment, let's just jump over to Cognos Analytics system and take a look at how easy it is to schedule a report. Any report object that I have access to can be scheduled by going to the properties of that report. Choosing the Schedule tab and selecting New brings me to the single pane interface that allows me to set the time as well as perhaps duration. Maybe I want this report to only run for the next 6 months because I'm monitoring a specific project. If I want it to run in perpetuity, all I need to do is check No End Date. The time that it runs, whether it's going to be daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or even by a trigger, can be set here. I can run every week, every other week, any specific day of the week, one or more. Choose to run this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday if I want. As far as the format goes, selecting that shows me that I can choose PDF, Excel, CSV, among other options. And yes, I can choose multiples. So for instance, if I want to deploy a PDF and an Excel spreadsheet, allow my user to choose which format they like the best, it's totally possible. As far as the delivery options, I can save it to the portal, or in the case of our example, I can send it to email. I choose to attach the report, and I enter email addresses, as many as I want, separated by a semicolon. I can update the subject, I can include CCs or BCCs, as well as enter any kind of custom text. Finally, I choose Done. If this report has prompts to it, I can choose to set the values for the prompts. In this case, it doesn't. If it's to be a PDF, I can choose PDF options such as landscape, portrait, and page size. All of those are very specific customizations that are not very difficult at all to do. But in this case, I'm good to go. I'm going to choose Create, and my schedule has been set up. It's as easy as that to get reports delivered directly to your inbox when you want them and exactly how you want them.
Well, once again, thank you, Chris. Well, I hope that today's demonstrations have gone a good ways toward giving you a feel for the breadth of capability that the IBM Cognos Analytics platform could bring to your enterprise in terms of preparing, exploring, and sharing your data. I also hope that Tafiq's presentation earlier on today about the need for an enterprise platform and the pitfalls when you don't have an enterprise platform for BI resonated and was thought-provoking. If that describes you, your next set of questions might be, well, how do I get started? So let me suggest a couple of ways that LPA could help you get underway in your journey to an analytics platform. The first thing that I think LPA could do for you is to present the IBM Cognos Analytics platform to a wider swath of your organization and tailor that demonstration to make sure we cover the topics that reflect the biggest pain points in your organization with your current approach to business intelligence. So with a sponsor from your organization, we would craft an agenda. At the same time, we would also build a spreadsheet of some of your data that you are comfortable sharing, that we would use to effectively demonstrate Cognos Analytics leveraging your data, which will make the demonstration so much more meaningful to the audience of your business and technical teams. Once we've done that, we will schedule a 2-hour session. We would deliver that remotely. And we would cover the agenda. We would demonstrate Cognos Analytics. We would demonstrate it using the data you provided with us. We would take questions, and we would hopefully generate excitement around the notion of a business intelligence platform for your business. If the excitement is such that it makes sense, the next step, we believe, would be to have us come on site for a one-day workshop. And in this workshop, we have found that we find splitting into two sessions, a morning session and an afternoon session typically, makes sense. And in the morning session, we would meet primarily with the business team to understand their current BI challenges. Prior to that session, we would have sent over a survey, and we would go over the results of that survey. That survey would be an instrument to provoke thought, to get folks thinking about not only the challenges they have today with business intelligence, but also what BI nirvana might be for them in their organization, what things business intelligence could enable if BI were up to the task. If we needed to do another demonstration of Cognos Analytics, that would be the time. And ultimately, though, we want to come out of the morning with a prioritized list of capabilities that we could deploy from the whole list of capabilities that are part of the Cognos Analytics platform. In the afternoon, we meet with the technical team. The technical team focus would be to understand your data assets. Understand if you've got structured data and unstructured data. Understand if your data assets are cloud-based, premise-based, or both. And together with the prioritized capabilities and the access to the data assets, we would build a plan to enable the business intelligence capabilities with both self-service and managed business intelligence using Cognos Analytics. And we would also explore the notion of whether Cognos Analytics is better as a cloud-based solution or an on-premise-based solution. The ultimate deliverables from this workshop would be a collection of recommendations, a plan for how you would roll out your analytic capabilities with Cognos Analytics, and that would include estimates for your licenses, as well as if you chose to engage LPA to support you to help you with the rollout of business intelligence, and estimate for those professional services, and a set of training recommendations to ensure that when the software, the technology is in place, your users, your technical and business users, are ready to catch that ball and move forward with it and gain the business benefits that the business case suggests would be gained by implementing a platform. If it sounds like you would like to move forward with either of those ideas or an idea of your own with LPA, that would be very exciting. To get started engaging LPA for either additional discussion or to do the demonstration or workshop, I'd invite you to reach out to one of our business development managers. His name is Jesse McNulty. His telephone number and email address are there on the screen. Jesse will be happy to work with you. And our sales reps cover different geographies. So Jesse will be your initial point of contact, and he may collaborate with one of our other sales guys in order to set up the demonstration and or the workshop. Well, all that remains then is for me to say thank you very, very much for attending today's webinar. I again hope it was informative, thought-provoking, and potentially has provided you with some great ideas about how to move from a tools-based BI approach like in Excel or a Microsoft Access world into a platform enterprise approach with all of the benefits and automation that can bring. Thank you very, very much again, and have a wonderful day.